looking for his first Moto Grand Prix win. Can he make it his first ever win? And then on the third row, Valentino Rossi, 3 times a Moto Grand Prix winner here. Top class. So will Fabio Quartararo break that duck and his, I wonder, from here? Gritted his teeth and got a virtually perfect lap on that KTM around here. But in the end, Maverick Vinales just beside this weekend as well. They are the Grand Prix victories across all the classes. Kind of temperatures. So as the flares go up, much to the annoyance of the organisers, because they keep on asking people not to use 10-foot concrete wall to your right-hand side, as was, and no runoff. So if you fell down there, it would have been a disaster. 70.9 miles, it's MotoGP, it's a San Marino Grand Prix down towards turn 1 then. Who's it going to be? Tronas boys that are sitting up behind him, 20 of Quartararo, 21 of Morbidelli, then it's Marquez. Paulus Bargo's got
good off the line normally, and he's not aggressive on the first lap. Out front, he doesn't need to be aggressive, all he's going to do now.
Here in Misano, but it's Maverick Vinales that's really, and already they're out in the green stuff, and we know picked up, he's had to serve it here. So the number 5 started a row further back than he'd actually qualified in, so he came off of row 4.
3 or 4 second rest, and then you're into one of the fastest, scariest corners of the year. So yeah, it's a physical old place, the team. Sort of nothing to lose, probably worth a bit of a gamble. So let's see how that pans out.
We've seen it before, but it's not going to be weekends off, and Dobby would have to win every single one of them, and he'd still be 3 points behind come that 4th round down the road. Are going to start to give it up late on in this race. Has Quartararo got the maturity to make that M1 Yamaha that's up against the Yamaha? Great thing for him, he's up against another Yamaha that performs relatively similar to how his motor
for Yamaha this weekend.
No fairy tale for Valentino Rossi at the moment, struggling not. It's going to be Cavone. Oh dear me, no. Hold your breath, everybody. He's not through. He thinks he's got the armoury to take it to everyone else, and he knows that Marquez is behind. He does not want to get tangled with him.
You took
all Marquez's. He's just seen Quartararo go. He knows that Quartararo has got the pace to pull away. So now Marquez has
2 laps. Is he going to do it here? Is he going to let the brake off? He is.
Yes.
Of course he is.
And pushes Maverick out of the way, and don't expect Quattro might want back. Over the line we go then. 23 laps to go. Quartararo leads. Marc Marquez in second place. Actually rolled off. There is Takaki Nakagami rolling out of that. Some unceremonious. Thank you, Yadaka, is at trackside. Well, he was with Carmelo Espeleta. You imagine what they're thinking about.
I was just about to say, maybe they're here with saying it. They are the facts. Dovizioso, is he going to beat him head-to-head in the championship? I can't see it. What about Maverick?
Over, so
he'll have to give up some time now.
Yeah, he will do it. It's going to cost him dear as well, because he's lost momentum. So Rossi will go by on the Ducati. The big thing about having no grip, of course, it negates the power advantage. You can't get on the throttle.
Getting it onto the fat part of the tyre, let that fat Michelin slick grip the tarmac and shoot you forward. The problem is right now.
Wow. And that was Catalunya last year on a speed up. It's incredible. And they put their...
some technical issue on his motorcycle.
At the end of the day, it was the wrong oil, wasn't it?
Tyre pressure.
That we keep talking about. Certainly with the gap back to him, it's 1.6 at the line last time. He's letting them get away, and even if he has
gap, he's the potential to pull away. What we're witnessing is, look behind, look how far everybody is back. What he's essentially done
should have been a Yamaha route this weekend. Again, I rest the case for Marc Marquez. Without him
on him now, what he's going to do, I think, he's going to let the brake off at the first chance he can. What I mean by
down in 5th place, he just got in front of Paul Espargaro a moment ago. You saw that, but now it's about Marc Marquez, the young gun on this racetrack. 26-year-old Marquez chases 20-year-old Frenchman Fabio Quartararo. What a...
Everyone you spoke to in this paddock didn't understand it.
Well,
champion. He was the guy who'd already done a year in MotoGP, and it was almost like he's our safe bet. He's going to be battling
on down. He was taken out by Quartararo at...
And everyone in the commentary box shouting
onto the front straight, and once again we're seeing that the Ducati is negated. Oh, good move from Andrea on the flip-flop. And Marquez, while this battle goes on for 6, 7, 8, he can afford to try something just a little bit ludicrous because he's got the points. The only thing
he knows that in the future the threat is Fabio Quartararo. He's a man who's potentially going to take world titles of him.
That's what we're seeing, a bit of a pattern here. People ask me, why is it that the independent team Yamahas can beat the factory ones?
You know,
the truth hurts.
The truth hurts.
And when you've got the president of Yamaha here and seeing the 2 factory bikes being duffed up by the Petronas,
and the gap started to grow, they were pulling away every lap. It's just sort of stabilised a little bit now. So let's look back to the last 2 races. Marc Marquez has pretty much led every lap, and he's been mugged.
The Honda hasn't had the grip, and he was mugged by Dobby at the Red Bull Ring, and he was mugged by Rin at the press conference when they played it out. They had the 3 of them in the car. He was looking out the window. He looked like a petulant child. Oh, Bagnaya's crap.
Oh yeah. 1-2 or down into this corner, into the next corner, like a scrappy sort of. Well, actually, that's in front of the Vans early. He gives Fabio the chance to have a really good look at him. He doesn't want to be mugged again,
and that's what that wasn't one of his sharpest starts, that's for sure.
Riding the motorcycle that way, pushing the front, locking the front, saving those slides. We've seen him this weekend, haven't we?
Let me talk you.
All that, big changes. The bike will react different every time. So,
and getting back to what you said earlier on about up, on a bike you like already, do you imagine the advantage Quartararo could have? If I was him, sign for you.
But we've talked about it before. His stock value is through the roof. And who knows, everyone's out of contract next year.
So still out front, Quartararo from Marquez. It's been 0.2 of a second throughout the last few laps of this, up behind the 42 of Rins, and then behind them is Jack Miller finally coming to play. He's holding on the Aprilia to the final point in this race. Wow.
That is Vinales is on his way. He's just set his fastest lap. The last 2 laps, Keith, I've been keeping my eye on.
Oh, Suzuki down. Wow.
Is it Rins?
That's the question.
It is?
It is Rins.
Wow.
So I think we might find him coming down pit lane and not bothering any further.
And doesn't that sum up Rins' season, really? It's so easy to do that, Keith.
Turn 4, we've seen turn 5 before that, 2.9, I think was the biggest gap. Back to Vinales in 3rd place, and that's what we see from Vinales to keep his tyres in and fight with Marquez when Marquez takes it to him.
Yeah, I wonder if they're giving him on his pit
covering. He will know whether 34.0, which he's capable of doing all day long, it would seem, at the moment on this Yamaha. 0.7, 2.4, 2.2, 2.1. Vinales is on his way as we have 10 laps. This was the pass, and it was a bit of a block pass. He had that session there yesterday, if you remember, with the win here at Misano in the Premier Class. In fact, you could say that for a lot of tracks, actually. In
Marquez, he's always smooth, is Fabio, but I think because he got to a really good lap time,
this might force Marc Marquez's hand earlier in this race than I expected it. Your thoughts?
Yep.
This is where you're prepared to just push, keep pushing, despite the fact you're down to 1.9 at the line last time around. And the number 12, the 24-year-old, remember, still young in his 85th.
Literally, it's the last 5 laps. He's been faster every lap.
But he will be using up tyre. He's got very much. They are part sponsors of this. They put money into it as well. This is the last big thing.
Auto 2 race. Pretty much something similar, right at the end of the lap, a very hard move. I won't give away any names if you've not.
Where the Yamaha looked really, really good, but I've got to say that Honda looked just as good through there at that pace. I still question, it's still aware what's going on. It hasn't forced his hand into making a pass on Quartararo. The remarkable thing about this, and I hope I don't
tilts up, you keep looking at the L to go, laps to go, and it's coming down. We're now down to 7 laps to
the LCR. Lucio Cecchinello racing Honda. He's got Zarco behind him and he's got Aleix Espargaro behind him. Tito Rabat is in 15th place on 1 point. Jorge Lorenzo just outside the points. Savage Siren, Miguel Oliveira.
That's rare. Test rider Michele Pirro.
He was under pressure from Petrucci.
Yeah.
But clean. I don't know where it'll be, but I know it won't be clean. Quartararo, Marquez, Vinales, who's gone up again.
Yeah. Keith, surely though at this point, Marquez will be thinking, I've a comfortable lead in the championship. I don't, and we saw his face after both those defeats.
Like a slapped child.
He was not happy at all.
This Marquez again, on the front end. Marquez takes absolute liberties with that front.
This before, I'd love to see the heart rates of the riders now.
I'd like to see the heart rates of the team.
Can you imagine?
End in the air on the brakes into there. And that's the kind of thing where the Honda is very, very good on the brakes with Marquez on it. It won't be, it can't be, it's too tight.
That is the problem, and you're not exaggerating that. Think of
the final corner onto the front straight. Down the front straight, look at the Honda's just got that little bit of one of the most revered men in motorcycling, particularly in Italy. Next. Looking at every part of the track, squaring it off as he has to do with the Honda. It's a different type of motorbike to ride. It's a 59, but there's been no French winner in the Premier Class here at Misano ever. Quartararo will be...
Information now. Fabio Quartararo has zero.
Yep.
He has no idea where he's faster or slower than Marquez.
Marquez comes alongside him into the braking area. This is what it's all about now. Can Marquez make that stick? Will Marquez snap back at him? He has!
Wow.
Wow, Fabio Quartararo. Now we're into the part of the track. It's online. Now we are into the really fast stuff. Coming soon. And that... Magic Quartararo has covered him off, and that's why he didn't leave a gap. Marc Marquez has outthought Fabio Quartararo, and in front of the president of Yamaha, Yamaha have been made to finish 2nd and 3rd. Marquez rider can without speaking it.
The only mistake Fabio's made the whole race was He had to do what Valentino Rossi did in qualifying. His teammate, 47 seconds behind.
Once Mark had got in front of him through that fast stuff. I know you say a block. Mark had got him shut down. He got the Honda. He did what the Honda does. Stopped it in the middle of the corner.
Yeah.
Got it on its fat bit. And
Can't do anything about that.
Valentino Rossi, good ride, but no cigar. 4th place behind the sport. But Marc Marquez looks like he's well and truly got one hand on this trophy. 27 laps to think about that. 26 laps, sorry, to think about getting that last lap right.
Well, that celebration.
Pecco Bagnaia, 18 finishers. Taka Nakagami was 1 lap. Shakes the hand of Valentino Rossi.
He'll be disappointed with that.
I think so. It was a good with his weekend as well. This was the move that we knew was coming. Honda had... Marquez got it right. He was waiting for Quartararo. He knew that if he blocked off...
But at the end, you know, this is the position. We are taking consistency. This is the important. We're going to understand this race and improve for the next one.
World champion, so it was a great moment, and I hope to be soon again in this.
Really nice to win here in Italy, but it's even nicer to have 93 points advantage in the championship.
This move down to here, it looked like he all of a sudden had a turbo.
It's fishy looking to me, because he didn't do that, hadn't been doing that all race. You know, he's been sticking right behind him. So I don't know, it's a little fishy to me.
Perhaps
Pole puttered it around it, and Fabio tried to come under him, but it didn't work.
When you say fishy, do you...
highest power mode he's got available, and all of a sudden you see that difference it has over the Yamaha.
Well, you know...
Sitting behind him, waiting for it to happen. Actually, that's not a bad. That's quite a... To the 26-year-old Spaniard in his 121st MotoGP. That's his 51st win. And he's...
But he cares not a jot. It wasn't to be for the man from Nice.